You know, the 208 is and always has been a conversation, a back and forth between us, the people who tell us their stories, and of course you, the viewers. Bud sent us this text yesterday. Anything new on the teacher who was told to remove posters from her classroom? Well, actually, Bud, kind of. Quickly, though, a little backstory. Earlier this week, we spoke with a 6th grade teacher at Lewis and Clark Middle School who was told to remove 2 posters from her classroom. Posters meant to foster inclusion for Sarah Inama's students. One that listed the values of those in the classroom and the other one that simply said, "Everyone is welcome here," with the hands of various skin tones. You can see them there. Sarah said she was visited by her school principal and then West Ada School District personnel who told her to take them down because they go against district policy of displaying personal opinions.
I was told a couple things, that everyone is welcome here is not something that everybody believes. So that's what makes it a personal opinion.
You were told this, that not everybody believes everyone is welcome.
Right.
Okay. And who told you this? Who was the one saying that not everyone believes this?
My building administration and district personnel.
So Sarah told us she took him down that day, but after a few days later, she was feeling a little unsettled by it. So she put the poster back up, believing not only that everyone is welcome here is not a personal opinion, but the foundation of public education. And taking it down would only validate racist and bigoted views. Still, West Ada School District has given her till the end of this year to remove it. Sarah shared her story with us Monday, and since then, our inbox has been flooded with messages supporting Sarah. Yet the only thing we have heard from the West Ada School District is a reiteration of their policy, without an explanation of how everyone is welcome here is just personal opinion. Then today, the district put out a 2-page letter to its staff. They titled this thing, "Ensuring a Consistent and Supportive Learning Environment." And the analogy they chose is, to say the least, interesting, calling West Ada a well-coached sports team whose success comes from following a structured game plan. Players can bring their own strengths and personality, they said, but they have to still play within the rules because, well, of fairness. If one of those players, say, I don't know, wore a different uniform or brought their own ball or just ignored the rules, what kind of game would that be? Unstructured, confusing, imbalanced, that letter said. Letter then mentioned Marcus Myers, the district's chief academic officer, the one who told Mrs. Inama to remove her posters, who I am sure has seen his fair share of correspondence over the last few days. It likens Mr. Myers to a referee in this sports analogy. While players, that'd be teachers and staff, bring their own approaches and creativity to instruction, the game itself must still be played within the established rules. And the referees, like Mr. Myers, are there to enforce those rules impartially to ensure a fair and level playing field. It went on to say Mr. Myers has a lot of experience in this stuff, and his leadership makes him an invaluable asset in maintaining a, what do they say, balanced and effective educational environment. So this letter was very much like a pep rally, but still a lot of unanswered questions with this sports analogy memo. Like, what kind of team is this? What team doesn't trumpet diversity and inclusion and stand behind the message of everyone is welcome here? The letter went on to say those values, well, they should be fostered through connections made in classrooms, not through posters. Yet there remains several posters in the school that say, welcome others and embrace diversity. But also, about those connections in the classroom, isn't West Ada already facing a lawsuit that says otherwise? Late last year, the Hodge family sued the district because their daughters and one of their friends were subjected to multiple instances of racism.
I'd start being called the N-word frequently by other students.
Our kids started to enunciate the N-word at me and kept saying little more bits of it, like nah, 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 and we were right in front of the teacher's desk.
The Hodges claim after reporting such things repeatedly to school and district administrators, they were virtually ignored.
I was just used to not having an outcome or not getting help or not feeling protected. I got used to being scared to go to school, begging my parents not to let me go.
We proudly welcome all students into our buildings and classrooms, it says, not through posters, but through the genuine connection we foster every day. That's what it says here in the letter. But also, teachers need to remove posters of inclusion because, well, not everyone believes everyone is welcome here. So which one is it? Maybe West Ada could use a few more posters as reminders everyone is welcome. Or maybe you need a reminder of just who doesn't believe everyone is welcome. Who might be in favor of removing such signs from classrooms? A reminder of who might be on that team.
That sign is extremely uninclusive to someone like myself, who is a female. And if you put he, she, it's who think that men who think that they're females in there, and that's what she's saying right there, that is infringing on my right to be a woman in a bathroom by myself. So you know what? You better get the article straight, because there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is DJT. And guess what? If these people refuse to accept that that's the reality, no federal funds for them, huh? No federal funds. Take care and know that I am extremely offended by people like that. Oh, everyone, he, she, it's her all. No. If they're in my bathroom, I'll kick their all right?
Okay, so that's who's on that team. Now, to be fair, we only got a couple of messages like that over the last couple of days. 99.9% of them were extremely supportive of Sarah putting her posters back up. And they came from all over. Southern California, Central Coast of California, the east side of the Sierras, from as far away as Arizona, Alabama, Arkansas, Conroe, Texas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Florida, North Carolina, Maryland, Massachusetts, and as far north as Canada. Got something from Quebec, British Columbia, even Alaska. All of them said, well, something like this. Like, I have children in the West Ada School District. I'm outraged by the treatment of the teacher requiring her to remove her welcome posters. If we've reached the point where welcoming everyone is against school policy, then we've really fallen off the deep end. I fear for our country and our future. Thank you for covering this story. That was from Kathleen. Dr. McGowan, by the way. Thank you for shedding light on this and asking for answers from West Ada. Please continue to publicly demand justification. I've taught in West Ada for 24 years. I've been on the receiving end of stonewalling from the district. I would encourage you to go straight to the superintendent. This is not the Idaho I know. And trust me when I say we have reached out to the district, to the superintendent, to the school board directly and repeatedly. The school district and the West Ada Board of Trustees, those are elected to make these decisions and put these policies in place. We've reached out to all of them, and we've been ignored and stonewalled just like Jamie has. But yesterday we got word of someone trying to make something good out of this. Chris Stewart, after seeing Sarah's story, thought, what if we could make this more public? So Chris reached out to a Boise shirt shop, Brigade Screen Printing and Embroidery, and they asked them to make some T-shirts. He took Sarah's poster, word for word, even with the same font and coloring of Sarah's poster, including those hands with varying skin tones on them, and he put it all on a shirt or a sweatshirt.
Saying everyone's welcome shouldn't be divisive. And I don't look at that as a political thing either. It's not one side or the other. I think if there's one thing that we can all agree on in today's world, it's that everybody should feel safe and everybody should feel inclusive. There's nothing offensive about that at all. My idea was just to get everybody together and show that we are an inclusive place. That's the Idaho I see. It's the Idaho I choose to see every single day. And I knew once the message was put out there, people would gravitate towards it. So the goal is to hopefully have a day where every student or parent can wear the shirts and just let the world know Idaho is an inclusive place. Idaho is welcome. Everybody is welcome here in Idaho.
Brigade told us this afternoon they've had about 400 orders so far for those shirts, and they're selling them at cost. No profit for them, and Chris isn't making any money on it either. So what they're doing is taking all this negative attention Idaho's been getting, once again, and turning it into a positive. So I guess the questions now remain. What uniform do you want to wear? What rules do you want to follow? What team do you want to be on?